So there are a couple things I want to point out for you to explore yourself, to believe, internalize, realize this idea that happiness isn't out there. First one, notice what kind of thoughts you have in various states of whether it's nervousness or fear or confidence or presence. Notice that you think the stuff that's out there determines your physiological state. It's actually your physiological state that determines what you see and what you react to out there. So anytime you feel afraid, for example, notice it and notice, oh, I need to tune to a different frequency. I need to tune to a different radio station. Take a deep breath, go for a walk, take some time, just take a minute or two, and you will be stunned how your thoughts actually change. And two, there's this idea of not enoughness. And I want to point out an exercise that you can do to maybe not prove to yourself, but begin to realize, I've seen all these spiritual teachers and they talk about going inside and they talk about, silence and awareness and I'm infinite. I don't get it. There is an exercise, and it's from a teacher named Douglas Harding. Douglas Harding had this exercise that he called the headless exercise. And it was experiential. Instead of trying to convince you or give you a model or give you words to explain this idea that we're infinite and we're creating our reality all the time, he would say, okay, point. I'm gonna give you some time to do this. Point at something outside of you. So I can point at a tree over here, right? Now describe everything that you can directly observe about that. So I can say, oh, the bark there's this stuff that looks like bark. It looks like it has some texture to it. It's a particular color. It's got some particular shapes. I can't really say, even to say bark, that's a concept, right? To even say it's a tree is like my conceptual experience of that thing. Then go to another thing and point at it. What can you directly experience about that thing? And take some time doing this. And then do this. Point at whatever it is that is looking out from your eyes, and look at that finger pointing at this thing and say everything you can directly experience about what it is pointing at. There's something about openness. I can't say much more than that. Notice what happens to your thinking when you are looking back at the thing that is looking out at the world. Can you access your history? Can you directly observe the history and the stories that you tell about this thing that's looking out at the world? No. Can you see your face? No. Other people can see your face. You can never directly experience any of that. You're always looking out at the world through this vantage point. But if you look closely, that vantage point, that perspective, has no inherent qualities. Instead, it is creating everything in your life. You are not the created. You are not the biography. You are not the story. You are not the values or the fears or any of that. You're the space in which all of that emerges. So to say you're not enough, well, in one sense, you're everything, because everything can arise through this opening. In another sense, you're the creator of everything, including the idea that you're not enough. So if you're the one creating the idea that you're not enough, how can you possibly be not enough? You have the capacity to create anything. And then finally, where are you going to create from? Almost everything in our society is geared at making you fearful. Because when you're fearful, you can easily be controlled. When cable news is telling you who's bad and who's good and who to be scared of and who's the enemy, they have you in control. But when you're calm and you're present and you're quiet, a different kind of voice, a different kind of intuition emerges from this quiet place. And it's gentle and it's non-judgmental and it's always there for you. And when you create from that and you realize the joy in that creation, then you can realize, oh, there's nothing outside of me that can make me happy, because there's nothing outside of me. I want you to contemplate that. I want you to spend some time with that. I want you to test it, see how it shows up in your life. This has been my experience. This has been the experience of people I've worked with. Have fun and tell me, throw me a comment, send me a direct message, send me a text about what your experience with that is. Take care.